Hello everyone, Harry here, welcome back. I hope you're all keeping well. I know it's all fucking weird at the moment. I hope you're filling your time resourcefully, or just managing to get out of bed and put a pair of pants on in the morning, because that's pretty much where I'm up to at the moment, so either or. Can you mix a song without listening to it at all? Famous composers have written songs without listening to them, so in theory, you should be able to do the other side as well. I'm going to find out. I've got a really good cheat sheet from Jordan at Hardcore Music Studio, and I'm going to treat the song like painting by numbers. I'm going to go through each track, do my EQ cuts, do my boosts, do my band passes, do my compression moves, but I'm going to do them exactly as the sheet tells me to. I'm not going to listen to anything. Then we're going to listen to it and find out whether I'm a genius or whether it's fucking abysmal. I've got a bit of a feeling it's probably going to be fucking abysmal, but let's have a go. Right, so here we are in the session. What I'm going to quickly do, just start off with, I've already got all the bits sorted, put them into buses. I am going to go through and just do some quick gain staging just to make sure that we're starting on a level playing field with everything. I'm just going to set all the faders to 0. And then I'm just going to go through and make sure that everything is about right game-wise before we start, to give ourselves the best possible chance of this not sounding absolute horse shit. Oh my. Right. Speakers off. Let's get into it, shall we? The cheat sheet that I've got here is, from Hardcore Music Studio. Go and check his videos out. They're wicked. It's quite a basic one, but I like that. I'm not very good at reading stuff. So we shall start on the kick, I think. So let's start with the cut. I've actually got 2 kick drums, which I'm parallel processing, one for the sub and one for the main kick. So what I'm probably going to do is mute the sub kick for now and just work on the main kick. I'm probably going to do that with the bass guitar as well. So what do we need? EQ cut, 150 to 350 Hertz, and then 700 to 900 Hertz for boxiness. So the question is, do I use a visual EQ or do I just do it with a channel strip? I'm probably just going to do it with a channel strip if I'm being completely honest. Kick drum, let's start. So I realised at this point when I came to edit the video that I'd actually made a monumental balls up, and I'd done a window capture rather than a display capture, which means that it hasn't filmed anything that I've done on any of the plugins. So apologies, I'm not going to film the video again. What I am going to do though, I'm going to throw this screen up every time I look like I'm adjusting something, and we're all just going to take part in the illusion that I didn't massively fuck up. I'm going to do all the EQs before the compression. It's kind of the way that you should do it anyway, but for this experiment it just makes it loads easier to just go through and do all of the cuts and boosts and then go back and do the compression. So, mono on the kick, 150 to 350 Hertz. EQ boosts, 50 to 70 Hertz for low end. So I'll do one for cuts, one for boosts. It's probably not the way you should do it, but meh. 50 to 70, so we're going to do between 50 and 70. I'm going to bell it. Just give it a little 3 dB, cheeky little 3 dB. After 4.5 for slap. It's pretty much bob on where it is. Let's give that a slightly bigger Q, because... So the rough rule that I'm working on, I don't really know where I've pulled this out of, probably my arse to be fair, is I'm going to do 3 dB for boost and 6 dB for cut. I think that sounds pretty good. That sounds about probably what I'd do anyway, so it's a good place to start. And then we need 8 kilohertz for click and attack. Again, I'm going to bell that. I'm going to take a high pass to I'll go to 40 Hertz because I don't really think we need anything above that. And what we're boosting 8K, so I'm going to take the low pass to about 10. Rad. Well, I think that's it for the kick drum for EQ. Snare drum. EQ cut, 500 to 700 hertz for boxiness. I've actually got a snare and a snare replace here. I'll mute the replace for now. That's actually one of Jordan's samples anyway, so it should be pretty much good to go. Again, another mono channel. 700 hertz for boxiness. We'll cut that out there. Nice again. Somebody's hertz end. I am going to leave vocals for now. I think vocals might be a little bit of a minefield, so we'll leave that one for now. Right, so that's all my EQs put on. I've just whipped through it really quickly. I haven't used proper band passes or anything. I've literally just done everything on the solid state Logic channel. It's only rough anyway, so let's see what happens. Let's move on to compression. For this, I think the way I'm going to do it, because I can't listen to anything, I'm just going to use a CLA 76 on everything and just make the differences through the attack and release times and how much compression I give them. So that's probably going to be my strategy on this one. It is literally the best compressor that I have, so I might as well use it. Kick drum. Mono. Slow attack, fast release. I'm going to call that slow, I'm going to call that fast. Let's watch a little bit. Minus 10 dB, that's probably a little bit too much to be honest, but it'll do for now. Same with the snare really. Looks a lot more reasonable, stopped it from clipping. Same with the toms, let's whap that on. Overheads. I'm not going to sit and watch that because I'll take me ages to find a tom level. Not doing toms now, we're doing bloody overheads. Right, okay, that looks good. Cool. Rooms, we've sacked them right off. Bass. Medium attack, medium release. I'm going to use my eyes a little bit here and try and get it to about minus 5 dB because obviously bass is going to be quite important. Guitars. I'm being lazy here, by the way. I'm just doing the guitar bus rather than doing each guitar individually. Medium attack, medium release. Again, I'm probably going to try and get that to about minus 3 dB, I think. Be pretty happy with. Rad. Right, so in theory, that's all of our cheat sheet EQ work done. I don't want to listen to it yet because I know it's going to sound absolute shit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get an analyzer up and I'm just going to try and use the analyzer to go through. Oh, I'll tell you what, actually, we can do this even better. Genius, we'll just use pink noise. Right, so what I'll do is I'll get a pink noise generator up. We'll use the pink noise mixing method, whether you think it's a load of horseshit or not. It's a handy place to start a mix. I think it's quite interesting. If you haven't heard of it, you don't know what it is, go and have a Google. It is actually quite an interesting idea. And I should be able to do that without... If I use a VU meter, I should be able to do that without having to have headphones on. Right, wicked. Let's do that. Have I got one? Yes. So I'm going to stick that on there before my meter. Is essentially the plan. I'm going to set my meter to about minus 5. Shouldn't really be moving that much if it's just pink noise. Should it really? Right, so the idea with the pink noise mixing is that pink noise, it's just a noise, it's just a fizz. It's just static basically, but the idea of it is that it's got a completely even frequency response at all frequencies. So you'll get a completely flat response on an analyzer graph. Well, I'll show you. So it's equal across all frequency ranges is basically the idea. So what you're supposed to do is put some pink noise up and then just turn all of your instrument parts up or your buses up until you can just hear the instruments over the pink noise. And in theory, that should give you a correct balance between all of your parts. And it should be right, basically. So I'm going to try and do that, but using a VU meter instead of my ears. So we're on about -5. The song is looping. Let's start with drums. In fact, you know what? Let's at least make an attempt of making this reasonable. So I'm going to turn the drum bus to where it should be, and I will start with the kick. So you can see now that's just going a little bit over -5, so I'm pretty happy with that. So let's mute that. Let's do the same process with the snare and just whip all the way through. Bass bus, let's do this. Same idea until about -4 on the VU. Sorry about the sirens. That's about -4 on the VU, pretty happy with that. Guitar bus. Let's turn off pink noise. Let's get the analyzer out and have a look. I don't think it's the best job I've ever done. It doesn't look terrible though, to be fair. I know it's peaking a little bit. I'll probably bring that down a little bit on the master. So I think this track's mixed. So I've just followed the cheat sheet. I've just gone through. I've done the basic cuts and boosts that you need to. I know that the instrument tracks are pretty good, so it shouldn't take too much to make it. I've just kind of balanced the levels up a little bit, just using the pink noise method. Again, might be bollocks, but might work. Who knows? And I've just had a little bit of a play. So should we have a listen? I'm very intrigued. I'm intrigued to see how shit this is. You know what I've done? When I went through and got rid of all of the plugins to start again with the mix, I've also gone through and turned all of the amp sims and the impulse responses off. So let me just stick them back in. I'll be with you in a minute. Right, I've put all the guitars back on. Shall we have a listen? That was a big old anticlimax, wasn't it? I actually think that doesn't sound too bad. I'm actually really impressed with that. Without listening to it at all, I reckon if I spent 15 minutes on that, I could make it listenable. Chuck the vocals in, I think it'd be pretty good. I'm actually really impressed with that. I never ever thought it was going to work. I thought it was going to sound like absolute, well, bollocks, to be honest. Right, so I think that's been a really interesting experiment. I'm going to crack on and mix this now, I think. See what happens. I'll tell you what, let's save that, because I'm fully involved in that now. I'm fully invested. I do have a version of this that is pretty mixed. So should we have a listen to this? Now, bearing in mind, to get here, I've spent hours and hours, probably about a day to get here. You know, the bass, the bottom end, the kick drum no, but the bass actually sounds better on this mix than it does on the other mix, which is very annoying. It's actually so much fuller. Anyway, I think that's been a pretty interesting experiment. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back with some more slamming, killing videos very soon. Take care, everyone. Look after yourself. See you soon. Bye-bye.